So what we want to focus on with incline dumbbell curls is basically just keeping the elbows tucked back and the shoulders stationary throughout this movement. And that's really to focus more on the biceps and less on the shoulders. Also really just focus on getting a full stretch all the way to the bottom, and then really contract on top while keeping your palms facing towards the ceiling. So with these spider hammer curls, what we're trying to focus on here is pushing those dumbbells together throughout this movement, and that's going to actually increase intensity of the contraction on the top. Okay, so you should feel this on your forearms and on the outer head of your bicep a lot. Also keep in mind we're trying to keep our shoulders stationary, and we're really trying to eliminate all momentum and all swing in here. So you should have a full control of that contraction and that stretch on the bottom. So with this single arm preacher curl, I'm actually using an incline bench at about 45 degrees for this exercise. And you can see here, I'm squatted down a little bit so my armpit rests on the top of that bench. And basically what we're focusing on here is getting that full stretch so the dumbbell hits the bench, and then just focusing on a smooth contraction on the top. Okay, so basically just keeping constant tension throughout this exercise and really feeling that pump in the biceps. So notice with this one, I'm actually leaning forward into this motion a little bit. My legs are together and slightly in front of my body. And then as I curl up, I'm bringing those dumbbells to the center of my body, making sure they're straight up and down. And that's going to be the most important thing, making sure those dumbbells are vertical as you're bringing them up, and then of course bringing them down to the sides of the body, and then repeating. So you can see right here I'm using a incline bench that's all the way vertical for support. So I'm not really going to be using my lower back at all with this exercise. And then I'm starting with both palms facing down and then rotating my palms towards the ceiling. Okay, and that's the key with this exercise, is trying to rotate your pinkies towards the ceiling and focus on the contraction like I am on the top of the movement. Okay, so making sure you're not going too heavy is also a big factor with this exercise. Start with the elbow slightly bent at the bottom. This is going to help engage the biceps. Keep the core tight. And then curl up those dumbbells right there, contracting on top for 2 to 3 seconds, really holding that contraction, coming down slow. Once again, as you come down, don't straighten out your arms all the way. Come down about 90 to 95%. This is going to help keep tension once again on the biceps. And really just focusing on slow controlled speed and slow controlled contractions. So while doing these curls, what we want to focus on is rotating our pinky towards the ceiling, contracting the biceps on top. While doing the contraction on top, you're going to be rotating your palms back down to get a little forearm action there. So just making sure you're using a weight that you could fully control, keeping the elbows close to the body, and keeping the core tight is crucial through this exercise. Notice with this hammer curl, I'm actually coming to the center of my body. Okay, so making sure the dumbbells touch together is going to be optimal in order to fill this in the brachialis as much as possible, and then lowering them slowly. I like to use my quads as a guide, so I like to lower them into my quads or my thighs right there, and then just go ahead and curl up to the center, focusing on that contraction up on top. So you can see right here, I'm actually twisting those dumbbells as I'm curling up. And the focus is to rotate the palms towards the ceiling or the pinkies to really bring out the outer portion or the outer head of the bicep, okay? And you can see my elbows are shifting forward just a little bit. That's okay. As long as you really focus on keeping those elbows to the sides of your body and not really using tons of momentum for this exercise, okay? So focusing on the contraction is always key with these standing dumbbell curls. Alright guys, here's a great example on how you could target the inner head of the bicep and the brachialis by doing a hammer curl. Is slightly externally rotating the shoulders just a little bit here, and that's going to help bring more attention to the inner section of the bicep head, as you can see right here. So we're just focusing on the squeeze on top and coming down all the way for full range of motion. So try it out guys, let me know how it goes, and keep focusing on switching things up.